Mike, what's your impression of how Devontae Booker's coming along? It seems like each week getting a little more in there, and just what's your impression of his progression since he's come back?
Been very pleased with him, and really he's getting better, like you mentioned, every week. Unfortunately, he missed all training camp. Limited reps that he had before he got going there, but very, you can see the explosiveness that he has. And you want to get him the ball.
How has Brock progressed on the practice field the last several weeks as he's gotten reacclimated to this system?
He's done an outstanding job. Brock's a true pro. There's a lot of the practice habits, the preparation habits. He learned from one of the best in the game. So, that carries over out here on a weekly basis, and the way he's been, since the first day he's walked in here trying to help Trevor out, throughout the year, and just the way he prepares is great, and you love to see that.
Mike, you've been here before. You've
been
through this sort of thing. Can you compare and contrast that a little bit? What does it feel like this time compared to what you had to go through before the Broncos?
Well, it's a different situation. It's a different, a different change, a different player. That changes from year to year. But I'm excited to, get back with Brock again. The opportunity he has, the way he prepares, like we talked about a minute ago. So it's a great opportunity for him to take it and run with it.
Does it give a new sense of we're starting something different for everybody? Is there a sense of, does it re-energize things to a certain degree?
Well, he has a job to do. Talking about Brock, to go out there and lead this team as the quarterback right now, and go out there and perform the way we want him to perform on Sunday.
Kind of like Trevor admitted after the Kansas City game, he said he was pressing a bit at times. Brock also said he did that sometimes in Houston. Is that something that you see a lot with younger quarterbacks, less experienced quarterbacks? Well,
I think any player, not just a quarterback, any position on a team, when maybe things aren't going exactly how you want them to, from time to time you'll try to do a little too much, regardless of what position it is. So I think that's normal for a lot of people in this business. Everyone, wants to be great. They want to perform at a certain level week in and week out, and that's why they're here. They're the best players, in the world, and that's why the guys are out there on the field, and that's why you bring certain guys on your football team. You make certain decisions because you want them to be successful, and that's what they're trying to do every day. So at times everybody presses.
How much does the offense change with the switch of quarterback?
Well, I think it's our job as coaches is to do what our team does best, and we're going to make changes. And as the week goes on, you rep things in practice, regardless of who you're playing with. There's certain things you look at and you say, okay, yeah, that looked good today. We're going to carry it over into the game. There's other times that you make changes because of personnel you have at all positions, and that's our job as coaches is try to do what our players do best.
I understand that teams try to take out Demarius, but the fact that he's got one touchdown over 16 games, none this year. What is the key to getting him going?
Well, I think it's a matter, of when the time comes to make the plays, make the throws, win versus certain coverages. It's not like we're not trying to get him the ball. I think you look at the targets in the red area, he's up there. And there's certain plays we've missed. I think there's certain plays he might say, he might not have won on a release, whether there's a decision we made in progression, was there a protection breakdown here, and there's a number of different reasons. It's not just one reason, but I think with Emmanuel and DT, there's plenty of plays that are asterisked with those guys' names on it that we're trying to get them the ball. A lot of the passing game, with those two special players, not just Demarius, but with Emmanuel, we're trying to get those guys the ball often.
Can you take salvage from last week that you ran the ball really well? Is that kind of a base moving forward, the fact that you were able to get back going on the ground?
Trying to win a game and do whatever we can to move the ball up and down the field, take advantage of what defenses are doing from series to series. I was very pleased with the way the offensive line and the backs ran the ball last week. We got to do that weekly, and be more consistent doing that week in and week out.
Mike, change quarterbacks might be the only significant change you make in the lineup. How do you approach the rest of the offense? That the quarterback will fix everything, or?
Well, no, it's not one guy. We made the change. Coach explained to you guys why we made the change the other day. Everyone's got on offense. Everyone's got to play better. We got to coach better. We're all in this together. It's not one guy. You're not looking at one position saying this is the reason. I think in each game that we've played, wins and losses, that you look at things, and each player, I think the way we've coached them and told them, hey, listen, there's always going to be some things we can do better. But as a group, we got to eliminate the big mistakes, and we all know what those are.
Confidence is big for a quarterback, but also comfort. How comfortable is Brock in this playbook, and is he comfortable even calling audibles, changing plays?
Oh, this system was built a long time ago and put in place, and there's plenty of things that have changed. And when he got here, the first couple of days, he kind of looked at me a couple of times. That's not what we call it. Well, yeah, that was years ago, buddy. We're gonna change. There's gonna be some changes, and you're gonna bring some ideas that you've learned the last couple of years too. But he has no problem at all in the system. He knows it.
Where does Trevor go from here in your mind?
Just to continue to learn and get better. I think he's handled it the right way. There's plenty of good things that Trevor did. And the game the other day, I know we had some unfortunate mistakes in the game. There's a number of plays there. You look at plays that, certain run checks he made or got us from a pass to a run, certain throws he's made. So he's a young player, and he's got a bright future in this league. And we sat down and talked. It's like I said, it's everybody on offense when you look at that. This was a tough decision to make, but he's got a bright future ahead of him. He's got to learn and keep grinding.
You mentioned DeMarius earlier,
Mm-hmm.
and I know Benny had the drop in the end zone last weekend, but is there an emphasis in getting the receivers more involved in scoring? I think it's been week 2 since a receiver had a touchdown.
Well, we're trying to score as many points as we can on a weekly basis, and unfortunately, we haven't scored enough points the last couple of weeks. We all know that, and there's different reasons for it, like we talked about. But I think everybody wants to get in the end zone as many times as we can on a weekly, regardless of who it is.
Can you talk about the challenge of younger quarterbacks in particular, and you already touched upon it, trying to do too much? Why is it so hard for quarterbacks just to be who they are and bring those set of skills week in and week out to the table?
Well, I think it's not just the quarterback position. I think you've got to look at the entire offense, the pluses and minuses. There could be a breakdown in a game, let's say for an interception. Was it a poor route? Was the receiver, did he not break a route off? There's so many things that come into play in quarterbacks. I think there's so much to learn for young quarterbacks with what these defenses are doing these days. There's a number of different reasons why certain players struggle at certain times. How is the team playing around you? Are guys winning outside? Are we running the ball efficiently? How is the protection? There's so many things that go in the evaluation, and that a lot of times when you grade a quarterback, people just want to look at the mistakes and not look at, why did certain things happen? Are you trying to make a play at certain times? You do a little too much? Yes, that happens. There's going to be interceptions in games, but I think as the coordinator, as a staff, we always look at, why do we not have success in certain areas? Not just from a quarterback position or, in the inefficiency at times in a running game, or in pass protection. Why are things breaking down? And that kind of leads to really everybody. Certain teams with young quarterbacks will struggle. Well, maybe the supporting cast. I'm not saying that's here, but you're talking about young quarterbacks when you talk about not just one player. There's a number of different reasons for each young player developing. Look at how Goff's playing this year versus last year. So you got to look at it and evaluate the entire scheme, the system, the players around them, and everything for young players.
Coach Jake,
time for a couple more guys.
He's doing a nice job for it. He had so much energy. When we first got him out here, it was great to get back on the field, and we're just taking it one day at a time with him.
If and when he's brought up, where will he initially fit in the tight end rotation?
We'll determine that when we make the decision to bring him up.
Coach, how do you think Connor Govern did filling in, and would he be somebody to consider competing at left guard?
He did a nice job when he came in the game. I think from day one that we've all been here together, he's done an outstanding job. We all know Matt missed the offseason with us, but we didn't skip a beat at all. And I think the way that him and the quarterbacks ran the offseason program, how we executed everything during training camp, preseason game, he did an outstanding job. So whenever we have to put him in there, we got all the confidence in the world that he can go in there and get the job done.
Okay, thank you, Coach.
All right, thank you.